Have you ever tried to sell your guitar at Guitar Center or Sam Ash and felt like you got ripped off? There's a big chance you did. But maybe, just maybe, there's a good reason for why they paid so little for your beloved guitar. So stick around and let me explain to you why your guitar isn't worth jack to those companies. So hello guys and welcome to a new video. A couple of weeks ago I posted my most popular video to this date, which was the video about Guitar Center going bankrupt. Having been a senior department manager at Sam Ash, I actually had a lot of insight on the subject. And a lot of people really enjoyed that video. And a lot of people left me a lot of questions in the comment section there. And one question that kept repeating itself over and over was people actually asking me to make a video on how to negotiate with these companies when bringing in a trade-in. So let me give you the hard truth about how this works. But before we get to that, make sure you drop me a like, you subscribe to this channel like a man if you haven't yet, and while you're at it, tell me about your own experience trading in your instrument at a big guitar store. Okay, cool. So that being said, let's get to it. Okay, so on this video, I'm actually going to play the devil's advocate. I am basically just going to explain how it works so that you guys have a better understanding on why you get offered so little whenever you want to trade in your instrument. Okay, so here's the deal. As a senior department manager, I was actually in charge of buying used stuff, and since I came from the guitar department, I mainly focused on guitar stuff, but I could definitely cross over to different departments and help them with a sale too. So as a rule, it really depends on margins and costs and true costs, and it differs from brand to brand for the current stock, meaning the stuff that's readily available. Let's say you bought a guitar last year and they still make that guitar, even though it's a different year guitar because of the serial number and stuff like that. If it's essentially the same guitar and the same model, the price they offer you, it's going to be based on the current price of the guitar. Which means that if your guitar was $200 more than it is now new, of course they're going to base their offer on their new price. If your guitar ever went on clearance, that's really going to hurt the value of your guitar. Also, any scratches, any scuffs, or any problems you may have is also going to affect the price of your guitar. Okay, so let's say, for instance, your guitar is in perfect mint condition. You bought it a month ago and you've never played it. Okay, so instantly, your guitar is a used guitar. Just like when you pull out of the parking lot at the car dealership, once you've driven the car off, it's worth a ton less. Okay, so when you go into the guitar store, don't tell the salesman that your guitar is new, because it's not. Even though it's mint and perfect and you've never played it, the guitar is a used guitar. And they have to sell it as a used guitar. That's how you get those awesome deals on guitars that look just like new for a lot less money. So yeah, let's make a very easy example so that you guys can understand. Let's say you bought a guitar and you paid $100 for it. You take it home, you never play it, and it gets past the return policy period. And then for some reason, you decide you want something else, or you want to sell it back to the store. Okay, so you drag your ass back in there with your guitar in hand. First thing they're going to ask you is how much you want for it. That is always the first question, because then the manager can gauge to see how reasonable you are as far as selling your used instrument. Of course, if you say I want $20, $30, they'll just give it to you because you're basically selling it for cheap or for the right price. But let's say you say 50 or 60, then the guy knows that you're actually close and he might be able to make you an offer that works for both of you. But if you walk in and you say I have this new guitar I want to sell back to you and I expect $90 for it, then the guy knows this is a lost cause. He might try to explain it to you, but chances are he's just gonna hit that wall real hard. So what's a fair price then? The hard truth is, a fair price, it's about 33% of how much the guitar is new. So if the guitar was $100, a fair price would be about $33. Depending on what state you're in, you actually get taxed back because you are selling the guitar. Why so little, you ask? Let me run it through. So you're paying $100 for a guitar, but that guitar has got a lot of added value to it when you buy it. That $100 that you're paying is actually helping pay for the light bill, for commissions, salaries, maintenance, for the store's rent, and a lot more things. So yeah, of course, they have a profit margin. They're not running a charity. So that guitar that you paid $100 for, depending on the brand, because some brands actually have bigger margins, anywhere from $40 to $60. That is new, in a box, with a factory warranty, with a credit line, and a send-back slip, and choice of color and fretboard configurations. So why would they pay you more money for a used guitar that they then have to resell for a smaller margin than what they would pay the distributor for a fresh, sealed in the box new guitar? There really is no reason why. So the rule of thumb is that they would pay you about 33% of whatever the guitar is worth new. So if you walk in with a $100 guitar, they will pay you $33 for that guitar. Sometimes they will round it up to $35, and then they will list it for about $70. So if you're trying to buy a new guitar, so that it's actually worth it to buy a used guitar over a new guitar. Because if the guitar is $100 new and you sell it for $90 used, chances are most people are just going to buy the new one. If you sell it for $80, people will still be on the fence. But if you list it for $70, then people are going to buy it. Now keep in mind, out of those $70, they already paid you $35 for it. So they're only making $35 on that guitar. Now they have to clean it up. Sometimes they have to fix it up a little bit. Got to change the strings on it. And they have to pay commission on the sale, which is about 10% of the sale. So that's another $7 down the drain. So that's $42 plus the strings. Let's say another $3 cost. That's already $45 on a guitar that they're going to try to sell for $70. Now let's say time goes by and the guitar is still hanging up on that wall. They're going to reduce the price on the guitar to $65, maybe even $60. So there's not a lot of room there for you to make money on. The only reason why they will pay you more than 33% on a guitar, it's one of two things. Okay, so the neighbors just started drilling. Actual drilling. There's going to be some background noise. I apologize. Okay, so where was I? Oh yeah. Trying to sell your instrument. Okay, so basically, if they pay over 33% of what the instrument is worth new to anybody for a used instrument, it's basically because of two things. One, they want you to spend that money back in the store. So what they would do is they would actually tell you you can get 10 or maybe even 15% more on your trade-in money towards something else or a store credit, which means that they're gonna get that money back eventually. So they're gonna make money on your guitar and then they're gonna make money on whatever it is that they sell you. Or number two, some brands actually have really high costs, such as Gibson, for instance. A Gibson or a Martin or a PRS actually makes the store the least amount of money because the cost is high and they have a MAP pricing set at about 20-25% overhead, which means that they will only make about 25% profit on that guitar. So let's say there's a Gibson that's worth $1,000. They paid about $750 of true cost for that guitar, which means that they will only make $250 on that axe. Meanwhile, you walk in with the same guitar and the rule of thumb is that they would have to pay you $333 for your guitar. But in this instance, they can actually afford to pay you more for that guitar because since they only made $250 on the $1,000 brand new guitar, they can still make $250 on your guitar and afford to pay you $400, maybe $450. Make the same $250 on that used guitar and still have a used guitar for $300 less than it is new to sell. But now, if you walk in with a vintage guitar, then things are going to be different. There actually is a Kelly Blue Book, and if I remember correctly, it's actually named the Blue Book of Guitars, and it is divided by brands, model, and year. And it's also subdivided onto different conditions for the guitar. So you can eyeball the guitar and see whether it's mint, or very good plus, or good, or fair, or bad condition, and how original is the guitar still. If it has the original pickups, if the tuning keys have been replaced, bridge, pots, and so on. Again, you can actually purchase this book. It's really expensive, but you can, and it changes every year because the market changes every year. And your guitar is a year older every year. So it's probably not worth for a person to buy that book every year, but you could. The first thing you have to ask yourself as a manager, what can I sell this guitar for? How much money can I make off of this guitar? So let's say the book says that the guitar is actually worth $5,000. Well, how much money can you sell it for? You can probably sell it quick for about $4,000. So how much can you pay for that guitar? $2,000, maybe $2,500. Because if you pay any more money than that, you can probably get a new PRS or a new Gibson Les Paul or any number of different guitars, brand new, sealed in the box with the hard shell case to hang up on that wall. So yeah, should you try to sell your guitar in a guitar store? Sure, why not? It'll be fast and pain-free if you manage your expectations. But are you better off trying to sell the guitar on your own? Absolutely. If you can sell it on your own, then you can ask whatever price you want for the guitar. If you want to sell the guitar, whether it is on your own or at the guitar store, there's a couple of things I will definitely advise that you do. First of all, that should be a no-brainer. Clean the guitar up. I can't tell you how many times a customer brought in a guitar that was just disgusting, with rusted strings, the fretboard just full of crud, sweat stains, reeking of cigarettes, and that is only hurting your chances. Because now I gotta think about the poor fella that's gonna have to clean up the guitar, restring it, set it up, and put it back on the wall for sale. Because nobody's gonna buy that guitar as it is now. Number two, make sure that all the bolts and nuts are tight. That gives the impression that the guitar's been taken care of and maintained, even if it didn't. And make sure that everything works perfectly before you take it to the store. A lot of times, all you need is a little WD-40 or some compressed air for those noisy pots, but it'll be one less problem for you to deal with later on. A lot of times, people brought guitars in and they say they work perfectly. And of course, we have to try it out because then we have to try to sell it. And the pots are noisy, some of the pickups are not working. And don't get me started on amplifiers and guitar pedals. And last but not least, keep a positive attitude and be friendly. That can definitely go a long way. As a salesman and as a manager, every time I dealt with a friendly customer, I would go out of my way to try to make ends meet. But if that customer is a jerk or comes demanding that we pay 90% of whatever the guitar's worth, you better believe it, that guy was not walking away with any money or any deals. So anyway, I just wanted to make a short video with a couple of advices trying to help you guys out, but it turned out to be a long ass conversation. So I really hope that you guys stuck with me till the end. And if you did, please drop me a comment in the comment section down below and let me know what other videos would you like me to make for you. Also drop me a like if you did like the video, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel like your man if you haven't yet. I will see you guys next time. That out. Metal on, dudes.